Hey everyone, a good morning to you. It is time for a First Alert forecast update, and changes are coming. Listen up. We are going to be diving into some First Alert forecast details. A good Tuesday to you. I am WIS First Alert meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli, and let's get you going. Not just out the door today, but as we continue onward into this week, things are getting a bit more impactful. We're still talking about rain chances returning today, but nothing that should be really impeding travels too much. Now, towards the upstate, over to Georgia, different story, but we're starting to see some rain trickling in, and I'm going to show it to you in just a second. That really kicks off our return to moisture, to cloud cover as well. Everything's starting to get shaken up here in our skies above us. We lose the blue skies. It was so beautiful the past few days. Everything with the beauty, the warmth. The pollen, yeah, that got kicked up in the atmosphere again, but this is what we see now. Looking on a First Alert satellite and radar check, you can take a check out towards the west. That is where we're seeing the most consistent rainfall. It's still not too heavy, but areas up towards Greenville, down towards Greenwood, Union County there as well, starting to get just a little bit more of some things filling in out that way. Honestly, even into Newberry and Saluda County as well, but that is all going to be trying to make a move towards the north over the next few hours. It's not going to be something that really hangs around in a big consistency, but I still want to make sure everyone is weather aware of it this morning. Starting out the day, a lot of us are seeing different things because you go over to areas like Manning, down to Orangeburg. Yes, there have been a few showers, but everything ridiculously light, very much in the way of barely picking up any accumulation that could actually be, of course, measured. It's just going to be, if anything, if it is measured, barely a couple hundredths of an inch of precipitation. Hundredths. So let's see what we got now as we go on forward. Quick zoom in. Just want to showcase you where some of the lighter rainfall is and where it can be. So we see it setting up a little bit of southern Lexington County as well, Calhoun County, but as stated, just getting clipped will be spots like Manning, Orangeburg, Sumter as well. Basically, you go anywhere down towards the south of Orangeburg, not too much going on. The low country, very much a dry place to be. Charleston probably not going to be getting anything from this. So it is, a very fine line where we see some of the rain set up. Right now we got a little bit of dampness to those roads starting to settle in, and we even see it here over a Broad River getting in and out of Columbia. So just got to watch out. Just could see a few slick spots, especially if you're traveling towards the west, anywhere towards the upstate. So getting into Lexington County and beyond, Saluda, Newberry, like we already talked about, need to be a bit more mindful out that way as we see some consistency with that rain. But for the most part, just seeing some clouds still register here for our capital city. A lot of temperatures near 60 degrees. As we look onward, we're going to be seeing those clouds that have already moved back in. Those will keep settling. Limited showers, though, will be more of the key phrase here because we're not seeing anything with widespread coverage or really heavy rain. What we work on to into Thursday is going to be a bit more pressing. Not necessarily because we'll see widespread coverage of a big swath of rain, because that's not going to be the case. What we will see is storm potential returning. Little embedded downpours, lightning strikes, some gusty winds that could even be damaging in a few isolated areas. So let's look onto that. Time it out for you again, and we are going to be seeing that potential for gusty winds. I want to make sure I'm stressing that we're a bit more worried about the winds in this forecast as opposed to the rain potential, because we're still not really over exceeding amounts. We're not drastically above average. Yes, we can still see some downpours here and there, but it's more of the storm threats we want to focus on, and that will be mainly the winds. And perhaps a little bit of small hail. Of course, still not going to be a big deal there, but I still want to make that point. We could see, various threats in some of these storms that form. Right now for today, it's just clouds and some nuisance light rain. Not going to be much organization to it in terms of anything heavy, just lighter. And yeah, even though it'll be there for a capital city, could even sneak on over to Sumter, up to Camden. It's going to be more towards our western viewing area. And as I stated before, the heaviest stuff has been out into Georgia and really far upstate South Carolina. That is where the most consistent and accumulating rain has been. Not as much for us here today. It still hangs around into the afternoon, but it's going to be still very spotty and light. It's just going to be, as I said, a nuisance. It's the best way to put it. Going forward into this late afternoon and evening, we could actually see things, drying up a bit. Clouds still linger. This is going to be a good bit of news, though, for those who wanted to try and head out, maybe grab some dinner on a Tuesday, or head over to the ballpark. The Columbia Fireflies got their home opener tonight tonight at 7:05 against the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. So that's going to be something that you can catch if you have a little bit of free time later. As we go into Wednesday morning, we see a few showers trickle in again, but just as the story's been going today, dries up, not too much going on for the afternoon, and we could even see some breaks of sun tomorrow afternoon. So look for a high near 80 degrees, while today we settle more in the mid-70s. Not the biggest jump ever, but still sizable enough that you'll notice, especially with more humidity filtering in tomorrow. Now, if you saw that quick little stint of rain there can be some overnight and early morning showers, a few downpours to watch out for. That is all going to be setting the stage for Thursday for the storm production. It's not really going to be there in the morning. That's just going to be some rounds of rain possible. But getting into the afternoon, this is where we see changes. Winds will really be ramping up here. And some of these numbers that are popping up on the board, I think are a little far-fetched. If you can see here, you're watching this graphic right now. Sumter is showing a wind gust of 48. We'll see likely wind gusts around 30 to 35 miles an hour, perhaps closer to 40 in a few spots, but that will likely not be until we get some actual storms to form. And when that can more so pop, it looks to be 4 or 5 p.m., perhaps even a little bit later. So we got to watch out for the very late phases of Thursday afternoon, because this is actually going to be when we get more of a westerly switch of winds. The front actually is pushing through, and it could cause us a line of showers and storms. So we will be keeping you posted. Weather Aware will be tracking through this day throughout all of our shows. Obviously, have the potential to live track this system with more of my weather team in terms of those who are covering it in the evening. So got to watch out for that. Continue to stay tuned, whether it be on TV or, of course, on any device. Let's see what we got as we get into your Midlands forecast next 3 days. Few showers are here early this morning. We've already been dealing with it. Everything mixing in with the cloud cover. It's going to be lesser the further eastward you go, and more heavier the closer to the upstate you be. As we get into Wednesday, a few stray showers around. The sun breaks still for the afternoon. Not a bad day overall, but Thursday is going to be one to watch. As we build into that afternoon, you've got to watch out for some thunderstorm chances. That will be settling into that day. That is going to be one to keep the eyes in the sky. It's a first alert weather day. Yet again, just want to make sure I'm mentioning we can still see some rain for the morning, but the storm threats look to be later into the afternoon as a cold front pushes through. Good news after that, cold front will be followed up by a big area of high pressure, a lot of dryness, and just look at that gorgeous weekend outlook. It is going to be fantastic. Anything you want to get out and about for, it is going to be good. Sunglasses, definitely a must. And for sure, shorts by Sunday. Let's, of course, continue onward into what is, still not a bad weather week overall. Just really need to be mindful and weather aware for your Thursday. You can always take a check back, of course, of these live streams every morning as we continue. WISTV.com if you're trying to get a little bit more of this information on the go. And if you need some news updates, you can always take a check-in of what's new this morning. That always comes up closer to 9 o'clock as this live stream, of course, tries to have a good balance of some information for you, things you need to know if you want to keep up to date on some national stories, if there's a new big headline, breaking news, or just some local stories to keep you aware to that as well. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'll be back here tomorrow morning.